Thank you very much. Before I lunge in, I'd like to thank all the speakers, in particular Benjamin. I want to steal your line about I didn't used to be, and probably am not today, an education expert, but I am a media guy. And I see nothing but analogies and correlations between everything that happened in media and everything that MOOCs will do to higher education. And I'm delighted to be allowed to speak to you today about how we at iversity are going to bring what I call the MOOC revolution, and it is one, is the absolute catalyst to Europe. I start with a little video.
Imagine you could take a course from one of the greatest thinkers. In the right hands, the potential of digital technology is endless. Bringing university courses online allows the best professors to share their brightest ideas with the world, welcoming students and independent learners of all ages. In fact, it's already happening. When a few Stanford University professors opened their courses to the world, it was a monumental success, with more than 250,000 students enrolling in just 2 courses. Since then, professors from the world's finest academic institutions have created hundreds of open courses. So what does all of this mean for the future of higher education? As the president of Stanford University put it, there's a tsunami coming, but we don't want educators to get swept away. We want to help them ride the wave. That's why we're establishing partnerships with top professors and universities to produce high-quality online courses that will attract tens of thousands of students from around the globe. Okay, so how does this actually work? An open course is not about simply filming 90-minute lectures. It's about creating custom content designed specifically for online teaching. An open course transforms the traditional course concept, uses multimedia formats, and allows for easy interaction online. Hour-long lectures are broken down into short videos explaining individual concepts, so students can replay, pause, or revisit topics whenever they like. After every sequence, students take short quizzes or submit assignments to ensure they understand what's being explained and stay engaged. This sounds very interesting, but isn't a lot of learning about interaction with other students? We agree that learning with and from each other is crucial. That's what makes the university campus so vibrant. Now, imagine thousands of students from all walks of life coming together to learn with and from each other on a digital campus. Obviously, no one professor can answer questions from thousands of students. So just like on a traditional campus, peer-to-peer learning is a core component of an open online course. All students can post, browse, and answer questions. They even ensure quality control. By voting for helpful responses, they let the best content bubble to the top. This logic also works with assessments. Where multiple choice doesn't cut it, peer-to-peer grading can be used to provide qualitative feedback. In the end, a certificate shows what students have learned and where they rank amongst their peers. The idea is simple. Millions are already learning online. Joining us now is up to you.
Right, sorry for the fuzzy video. We are completely convinced that massive open online courses, MOOCs for short, to state the obvious, are disrupting everything, and literally everything that university is today. They are the absolute catalyst. You may be familiar with the famous quote of John Hennessy, the president of Stanford University, who said what we quote in the video, there's a tsunami coming. He actually took a 3-month leave of absence after the foundation of Udacity because he thought he had to think about this for 3 months, what Udacity actually meant to Stanford. You may be familiar with some of the articles that Tom Friedman, the Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist at the New York Times, regularly writes in the New York Times. Revolution is upon the universities, and it's happening now. And why is that? Because like in every, to go back to Benjamin, all the analogies in the media industry, every time that existing players are potentially being bypassed by internet platforms, you suddenly have unprecedented access to and distribution of content. And in this case, it's higher education content. And I could go on and on about this for hours, but just to pick up a few things. For the first time now, university educational content becomes viable for the lifelong learners. That didn't used to be the case. It's hidden behind campus walls. So an entire market of ongoing education opens up for university professors. Ultimately, and this goes to what Juan has said, you've spoken about how Pearson is all about wanting to improve people's lives. These are platforms that offer life improvement opportunities. That's why I'm personally so excited to be involved with this. That's why Thomas Friedman and so much excitement in the press exists about MOOCs, and rightly so. And all of this, of course, we are in the internet on a global scale. Don't believe the hype. They're not a hype. They're a complete sea change. The phenomenon has erupted in the US, but it is as relevant to the future of higher education everywhere, and certainly also on this side of the Atlantic. And we, as I hope I can lay out to you, we at iversity have the expressed goal to become the leader of the space in Europe. And I think we are relatively well on track, considering that we only started 5 months ago. We launched on March 11th with an empty platform. We basically announced that we would be doing MOOCs. We did that, we're based in Berlin, with a focus on the entire European market, but obviously there was a slight bias towards the German market because we're there. Nobody even knew what the acronym stood for. Our first challenge, as with every platform business that you build, and to be sure to draw yet another analogy to other industries, MOOC platforms, whether it's Udacity or Coursera, are ultimately marketplaces business on which you aggregate on the supply side a certain service or content, and on the demand side, you drive users or buyers to the content. They're eBays for higher education. Anybody checked eBay's market cap recently? Our key challenge, therefore, was to aggregate the best possible content before even being able to say we're live, because we're not live yet. And that was a tough one because university professors, universities, especially in Europe, are a fairly archaic institution often. They're very sales averse. So how do you convince? How do you evangelize? And we had a pretty cool idea. We decided to do a competition together with Germany's leading education think tank, Stifterverband, which basically hands out all the relevant university prizes for excellence in university teaching. We created the MOOC Production Fellowship. And we called on professors worldwide to submit their MOOC concepts to us, or rather to Stifterverband. We handed out 10 times 25,000 euros in fellowships and grants for the production of the best 10 MOOCs. The winners have actually been announced on Monday. I had to hand in my presentation before Monday, so I don't have them with me, but we have time at the end. I can go online and show you who the winners are. It's pretty cool stuff. The prize money that these 10 professors from German, Italian, and Spanish universities have won will now be spent on actually turning the concepts into MOOCs. And all of it will go live on iversity in October. That is officially our relaunch when we deliver the proof of concept. Beyond the fact that we did this competition and that we have 10 fantastic world-class MOOCs that I think match anything that you can find on Udacity or Coursera, the results to the competition in the academic community, in spite of the fact that the institutions themselves are in denial, was overwhelming. We had over 250 applications. I expected maybe 50. 250 applications from professors from 20 countries. We also had, to speak about the demand side of what we're building, students, we had a public voting phase where on the MOOC Production Fellowship homepage, users and potential students could register and vote for their favorite MOOCs. The number of votes was one criteria for selecting the final 10 winners. And before this went live, I sort of wondered, gee, I hope we have a few thousand people signing up and voting, otherwise this will be embarrassing. We actually have 100,000 pre-enrolled students, and we did zero marketing. This trend is happening now. We have world-renowned universities, many of the biggest German names, but not only German names. We have Cambridge, we have NYU, we have Columbia, Beijing, Sydney. It's really a worldwide trend really picked up. I said earlier we're aspiring to be the European leader in the space. It turns out the game we're playing is probably more global, and what makes us European is that we happen to be based in Berlin. So the content side, key challenge number one is after 5 months of working on this, is well underway. We've achieved, and this is just a little snippet, some great coverage. This is, of course, not only our doing. The MOOC phenomenon itself arrived here probably late last year, early this year, and we happened to come out at the same time. Hopefully that was my right entrepreneurial gut instinct. I'd like to say it was. And we have really world-class content. These are not the winners. I'll show you the winners in a second. But we have some great MOOCs, some great concepts, and please go and browse the site and take a look. In summary, and more about us, we've been so successful on the content aggregation side, we're considering taking on more money now, which we don't necessarily need, to not only go live with the 10 winner MOOCs that we have, but to maybe, because we have a pipeline of 250, and there are at least another 3-4 dozen fantastic professors from famous universities. So we're considering that to go out with a bigger bang than we are already doing anyway. Timeline will remain the same. We will very much focused on producing now. The platform is essentially ready. It's an enclosed private beta. You can't see it, but it's being tested by professors as we speak. And then we'll go live with our first batch of students, where I'm saying somewhat ambitiously hundreds of thousands. I think we will have hundreds of thousands because we already have 100,000 pre-enrolled students today. And I think we will deliver two things. I think we'll deliver, first of all, the proof of concept that the phenomenon is at least as relevant here as it is over there. And hopefully we will be able to establish ourselves as the leading player in the space. Thank you very much. And if I may, I'll show you the winners. And we'll just go to the home page. Right. Now here they are. And which one do you want? Do you want Monte Carlo methods in finance? I don't know what that is, but Alberto will tell you. Is it loading? Apparently not. And we'll take another one. The future of storytelling. Show all content. I have to press that button. There we are. This is from a German professor from the University of Potsdam.
Do you like Game of Thrones?
Yes, yes.
Hi, my name is Christina Maria Schollerer and I'm a lecturer here at the University of Applied Sciences in Potsdam. I teach storytelling and writing and everything having to do with narrative design. And we're here today to ask you to join us and support us in creating a massive open online course together about the future of storytelling.
It's such a nice day to be on the main stage, all class skipping violence.
Do you like Game of Thrones? Do you enjoy games like Limbo, World of Warcraft or Heavy Rain? Are you interested in the mechanics of TV series, web series, online games, social games, cross-media, and artists? And writing? In short, do you want to analyze, understand, contextualize, and create stories on an academic level? Then this is the right course for you.
And now I will show you Monte Carlo methods because it's a little bit more sober. And scarily complex.
Hello, my name is Alberto Suarez. I'm a professor of computer science at the Universidad Autónoma de Madrid in Spain. I have been teaching undergraduate and graduate level courses on artificial intelligence, time series analysis, and computational finance for the past 15 years. Today, I want to invite you to join us on iversity for a course in which you will learn how to design and use Monte Carlo methods in finance. Let's go inside and explore. The term Monte Carlo refers to a family of methods that involve the generation of random numbers, that is, tossing coins, to obtain precise, accurate numerical solutions to quantitative problems.
But can really tossing a coin lead to relevant results in finance?
Let us perform a simulation. In the simulation, we're going to drop a ball, and the ball is going to encounter obstacles. When the ball encounters an obstacle, we toss a coin to decide whether it goes to the right or to the left. So let's say heads, it goes to the right, tails, it goes to the left. Here we get heads, tails, heads, heads. The ball ends up here. And what we're going to do is repeat this experiment several times. Of course, the trajectory will be different, and we're going to count the number of balls that end up in a particular position on the horizontal axis. To do the counting, we will draw vertical bars at each point of the axis. The height of each of these bars is increased when the balls end up at that particular location.
So much for the content, pretty scary stuff. Thank you very much for your attention, and I want to close by saying what I've said already. MOOCs are real, MOOCs are no hype. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.